Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am deciding to go on a little bit of a animated review, just binge. I'm gonna watch a bunch of animated movies. Some of them I've seen before, but in this case, it's been so long since I've watched Shrek. Shrek is a 2001 animated film that was produced by DreamWorks. And the plot is we meet this ogre named Shrek, who's voiced by Mike Myers. He lives in the woods by himself, isolated, by his own choice. He does not want to interact with people. He's a loner. People are afraid of him, the way he looks and whatnot, until he comes into contact with a talking donkey, who's voiced by Eddie Murphy. And this donkey helps him go on a quest to save a princess Fiona, and along the way, Fiona might develop some feelings for this ogre. Now, what I thought of Shrek was, like I said, it's been so long since I've seen Shrek. There's little things here and there that I remembered about it, but rewatching it now, I had a blast watching it. I thought it was so much fun. There was a lot to like about this movie. First of all, let's talk about the animation. The animation, it's the 3D animation that came to be popular with a lot of animated movies. And I'll say for a movie that's over 15 years old at this point, like 17 years old, it's going back in 2001. There's parts of the movie, at least the animation of the characters talking and whatnot, that is a little dated, that you can see the difference between today and back then. I feel like 2D animation ages better just because, well, it's 2D. You don't have to worry about that surface level. It's just flat, but still it looks good. I'm not the biggest stickler for animation. It's just something that I observe. Shrek himself is a funny character to watch because sure, he's supposed to look scary, sure, he's supposed to be intimidating, but when you hear him talk, whenever he has a conversation with anybody, he does come off as a nice guy. The scene of him at the beginning and just his routine, and I guess it helps that you don't be afraid of him from the music that gets played throughout the movie. There is a lot of contemporary music, and especially poppy-like songs that I hear and I have fun with, especially Smash Mouth. Anytime you could play Hey Now, which is a phrase that I like to say a lot. But the All-Star song, I'm like, this is great. There's plenty of other songs that I'm like, wow, it's almost weird because of the time period this is supposed to be set in, but I like it. And Mike Myers doing the voice of Shrek. My girlfriend told me that if I had seen, I've married an axe murderer, that in that movie he does a thick accent as well, and he sounds very similar to how he sounds as Shrek. But listening to his voice as Shrek, it just doesn't sound like Mike Myers. From what I'm used to, I guess sure he does a lot of character voices, so maybe his real voice I don't even know, right? But I think of Wayne's World, I think of Austin Powers, I think of all these movies where I hear Mike Myers' voice. Eddie Murphy. I need to talk about Eddie Murphy as Donkey because Eddie Murphy, this was a period of time where Eddie Murphy was starting to lose that movie credibility. He wasn't on the huge downward spiral that he could say he was a few years after, or even today. It's like, when was the last great Eddie Murphy movie you saw? Seriously, how many decades ago? But when you listen to him as Donkey, because it's a kid's movie, sure, it's not going to be raunchous or outrageous or the rated R material that I love from Eddie Murphy, but it's still good material. It shows that he can be funny. He can have that personality. He can have those levels of his voice that just constantly. Donkey is supposed to be an irritating character. Donkey is supposed to be somebody that talks a lot, that's annoying, that will get on your nerves because he gets on Shrek's nerves. But I'm laughing at a lot of what he's saying. I'm enjoying having him on screen. Speaking of appreciating their voice, Cameron Diaz, I think, does a great job as Princess Fiona. I think she has to go from that typical fairy tale version of, hey, she's trapped in this castle, and the whole dragon sequence is great to watch, especially when you find out that the dragon is a female and falls in love with Donkey. I must have forgot all about that because I wasn't expecting it. But the princess aspect, I like how she thinks that this is supposed to be fate, right? She's supposed to fall in love with the brave white knight that saves her, and it ends up being Shrek. And I like how she's not automatically like, ew, gross. She resists it at first, but then you find out that she has this curse put on her, and at night, she turns into an ogre herself. I like their little love story. I like how they fall in love. I can buy somebody like her falling in love with Shrek more because of the spell. And so, look, I'm not saying it's the most original. I'm not saying it's the most unpredictable. I'm just saying that I enjoyed this movie. I had fun. I thought a lot of it worked. I thought Prince Farquaad, voiced by John Lithgow, was pretty amusing as well. The short jokes never got old. It's probably at this point, even though there's been 4 of them, it's probably not something that gets talked about enough as far as some of the best animated movies out there. I really enjoyed rewatching it. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the first Shrek? Do you remember liking it? Is it something that you go back to a lot? Who's your favorite character in this movie? Is it Donkey as well? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!